Hello and welcome back to A New You, Maximizing Life with a Disability. I'm Scott Chesney. And with me is registered dietitian and nutritionist Amy Wittershine. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
Fantastic. And why we wanted to bring in Amy today is that we wanted to examine, because we all know the importance of eating healthy and having good nutrition. Our eating habits and our nutrition is vitally important. So let's first look at that person who has acquired a disability. So they are able-bodied and have whatever type of diet they may have. And then whether it be an accident or an injury or an illness at some stage of their life, disruption occurs. And the eating habits have to change in order for us to continue. How can we take a look at that?
Sure. So one of the first things I see when someone first has that change is a drastic change in how they eat. They're either not eating because they're upset, they have a lot of emotional things going on, or in turn they go the other way and they're trying to eat to make themselves feel better. And neither one of these works or serves that person. The biggest thing that we need people to do is continue to make healthy habits. Being in less mobile, your calorie needs are going to be less. So it's finding that balance of how can you still feel full, feel satisfied without gaining excess weight, because the more weight that you gain, the harder it would be for you to get around.
So one of the things that we're having to deal with too in terms of our eating habits are we're very much more prone to heart disease as well as diabetes. Can you explain why that occurs and what we can do to maybe buffer that a little bit?
Well, the biggest things that you can do is try to maintain as much activity as you can, and also a general healthy diet. Preventing excess weight gain is important for anybody, for preventing these metabolic diseases, we would call them. So the most important things you can do is just eat a whole foods diet. Try to limit the processed foods, the added sugars, the hydrogenated oils and trans fats, because those are things that really will contribute to metabolic diseases.
I'm hearing a lot about certain types of diets that are high in fiber, and because again, it's one of those things that we go through our bladder and bowel changes as well, so that's very important. Would that be something that you instill in your daily lifestyle?
Yes. So I'm really big into making small, sustainable changes. So my first suggestion to people would be to pick one meal that they can get onto with the high fiber, higher protein meal. A lot of people do really well with breakfast with that. So get a really good breakfast going. So if you're looking for more fiber, that can be from berries, a really high fiber cereal, adding flax or chia seeds to oatmeal. These are all things, and then those would be a healthy breakfast to kind of get your day started. And then just working on small changes after that. But I find a lot of people do really well to start with one meal. I look for in every meal a balance of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. And you want to be specific about all of these types of things. So for carbohydrates, you want to look for mostly whole grain products. So oats, whole wheat bread, brown rice, quinoa, these sorts of products, okay? So for breakfast, you probably do best with like an oatmeal or a whole grain bread, something like that.
What would you say, if you can, avoid doing this to your food?
Avoid the added sugars and the added fats if you can. So for instance, oatmeal, look for plain oatmeal rather than the flavored ones. You're better off adding your own flavors after. You'll cut out a lot of added sugar, a lot of added chemicals and things that you might want to avoid.
What's a good flavor to add that tastes good and is good for you?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Very, very
Cinnamon has no extra sugar, but it imparts a very sweet taste. So you add a little cinnamon, a little berries, a little raisins.
I was told that you have to eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a prince, and then eat dinner like a college student with a maxed out charge card. Is there any truth to that, or is it really depend on your metabolism and so.
There can be truth to it. It depends on the person. Okay, you gotta find what works for you. Some people do great with a big breakfast, and that helps them eat less throughout the rest of the day. Other people eat a big breakfast, but that doesn't stop them from eating a larger lunch and dinner. If dinner is the time you get to eat with your family, save that for your larger meal, and that's the time you can take to enjoy with them. But it just depends on the person.
Okay, a nice solid lunch now.
Okay, so a nice solid lunch would incorporate these things: the protein, the carbohydrates, and healthy fats. So look for lean proteins, chicken breast, turkey breast, fish. I also include beans into this kind of category, okay? Some kind of vegetables. Everybody should be trying to eat a lot of lean, leafy green vegetables every day, a couple cups worth. So you could have, chicken with a salad, something like that. You can put a little quinoa on top of there. And for healthy fats, either a little olive oil, a little avocado, a side of almonds, something like that. Those would all be really good options.
Again, everything in moderation, but what would be some of those things that you say would be really good for dessert, and maybe those things to avoid?
Always try to incorporate some fruits into the dessert. If you're gonna have an ice cream, it's all just portions. So try to really take the time to, if you're gonna have a piece of cake, have a bowl of ice cream, take time and enjoy it. Don't eat it while you're watching TV. Don't eat it while you're, doing a million other things. Take the time and enjoy it. And what you'll find is that you get the same enjoyment out of a small portion as you would out of a large. Because most of the time we only are enjoying those first few bites, and the rest we're just eating because it's there.
I like that. And we always talk about too in terms of liquid intake as well. Water is so important. And I think it's still 8 glasses a day to help us. I don't know, is that more or less for a person with a mobility disability?
That is a good general guideline. Some ways that you can tell that you're adequately hydrated is with your urine. You want it to be a light pale color. If it's totally clear, you're probably drinking a little too much. And if it's a darker yellow, then you're getting a little dehydrated. What
are some things to avoid drinking? And again, probably in excess.
Right. So definitely the sodas and all the sugar-sweetened beverages. I am also very concerned about how much energy drinks people are having, because they do have excessive amounts of caffeine that can be very dangerous for your heart, especially if you have high blood pressure or other health problems. I really try to stick with water. If you're gonna have juice, make it 100% real juice, like an orange juice or an apple juice. Seltzer water is calorie-free, sugar-free. Those are good options. Making unsweetened iced tea at home. There's all different ways that you can keep hydrated but not get bored with it. So, meals are meant to be eaten with others. And the best that you can, make family meals a priority and make them pleasant. Family meals are not a time to talk about finances or family issues. Keep it pleasant, keep it happy, talk about the food. Take time to really enjoy that food, appreciate it. Someone worked really hard to get that food on the table, and keep that in mind when you're eating.
I love that. And if we were gonna give them 2 or 3 more new challenges, absolute musts when you're thinking of your diet, nutrition, those people with mobility disabilities.
Okay. So my number one recommendation, especially to help prevent heart disease and diabetes, is to adopt a Mediterranean type diet. This is our lean proteins, our beans, our healthy fats like our olive oil, our nuts, our whole grains, not eating a lot of processed foods, things that come out of a box, trying to avoid the added sugars. That's a big one.
Amy, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And if you have any questions regarding today's program, please feel free, or have a comment, please feel free to send me an email at scott.chesney@newmotion.com. That's Scott, SCOTT, .chesney, CHESNEY, @newmotion.com. If you like this program, want to watch it again, or any of the programs, please look at that red button down at the bottom of the screen, and you will see a way to subscribe and see all previous episodes and see this one again if you want. Until then, I'm going to say keep working on making a new you and taking it to the next level and enjoying the journey. Thank you so much.